All right, this is supposed to be the original film, the Patterson 1967 film of him filming Bigfoot. A lot of people said that this was fake, not real, a person in a gorilla suit, and we're just going to play that right now. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. Um, Whether this is real or fake is not the point. Okay? But this right here is the most famous film in Bigfoot history. Um, I'm not going to say it's fake or real. It could be real. It could be fake. I'm the wrong person to answer that question. There's a lot of these experts out here. There's people out here says, they claim that they try to tie evolution into this stuff, and they keep wanting to talk about evolution, and they need to keep that out of this. You know, and it has nothing to do with evolution. There's creatures out in the woods, okay? There's wild people that live out in the woods, that's been proven. There's apes in the woods, but scientists says, oh, there's no apes in our country. It's not native to our country, but I believe that there is gorillas and apes in our country. And that would account for why they're seeing these Bigfoot creatures out here. And they say, well, see, that would give them justification to say, well, to say about Neanderthals and the missing links and evolution, that's an opening. So they got to discredit, apes being here. Because personally, I think it's either gorillas, the ape family, or it could be wild people, And the only question is, they want to find Bigfoot. They've taken film of it, and they say it's very elusive. But no one has been able to either get a hold of this creature, capture it, or whatever, kill or capture this creature, and to prove whether it exists or not. I personally think it exists. There's a lot of people that debate and they say, well, we don't believe it exists because you haven't captured it. Look, there's a lot of animals out in the woods that you can't capture, and they're elusive and they're dangerous. And I believe the Bigfoot could be very well dangerous. Any gorilla or monkey or whatever, it's part of the ape family, are dangerous animals. They're nothing to mess with. And I believe this is basically a gorilla. And yes, it is dangerous. It needs to be left alone. I mean, you can defend yourself if you have to, if you're in a situation, but you don't go out and provoke a situation. You don't mess with a bear, you don't mess with a gorilla. You don't look for trouble. But as I said before, I believe it exists. They just need to just leave it alone, give it its space, and stop trying to. They want to capture this animal, or someone's going to shoot it. A hunter will probably end up shooting it. Some people say, well, they'll have some hunter will end up shooting it. Well, if they're being attacked or something, it might end up happening in the future, but it's not happened so far. Because the creature is, elusive. I've heard stories about Native Americans actually interacting with Bigfoot. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, because the Native Americans are closer to nature than other people. You need to ask the Native Americans their opinion on Bigfoot. They believe it exists, and they've actually communicated with Bigfoot, and this is what I've been told. So, you need to talk to the Native Americans about this. Well, people ask the question, is Bigfoot real or fake? Well, I have to say that I believe Bigfoot exists. And the only question is there people out there that's faking Bigfoot sightings? Yes. There's people who fake it. There's a combination of all the above. There's real sightings, and then there's the ones that make them up just to get publicity. There's people that wear gorilla outfits. Another thing out there that they say, well, they don't believe that a gorilla is native to America, which I disagree with that. I disagree with these scientists who think this is Neanderthal. They try to tie evolution to, these scientists don't believe in God, okay? First of all, you can't take the scientists who have been saying it's Neanderthal or missing link. I do believe it could be wild people living in the woods. There have been cases of this happening. I believe it could be a case of something like that. Or it could be, apes, gorillas. And they say, well, gorillas are not native to America. Well, I completely disagree with that. We have a lot of woods and a lot of forest in our country, and you cannot tell me in all those woods that there's no gorillas out there in our woods and forest. I believe there is gorillas. And gorillas are pretty good size, And the Patterson video that was made back in 1967, it was shaky and everything, and they said, well, this can't be Bigfoot, But I think what Bigfoot really is, if you want my personal opinion, it could either be, like I said, it could either be wild people or wild man, just like me and you, who lives out in the woods, who's completely isolated. I don't believe it's Neanderthals or the missing link. It could be a gorilla or it could be a wild man. Human beings. But I don't think it's a missing link. You can't say that Neanderthals exist when they don't exist. There's human beings and there's apes and gorillas, there's different species of the gorillas, apes out there. It could be one of those, or it could be like wild people who live out in the woods. That's the only explanation. It's got nothing to do with evolution. They try to drag evolution into this. When they start talking like that, they lose credibility. Like I said, they don't believe in God. You got to keep that out of it. You got to look at it from a different perspective. My conclusion is it exists. I know people who've actually seen Bigfoot. And there's a lot of mysterious creatures out there. I've seen insects I've never seen before. And I've taken biology, and I know about every insect creature out there. I know about different animals. I took science and biology in high school and junior high school. I knew about every insect and animal out there. And I'm telling you right now, it's not a missing link. It's not a Neanderthal. Because that's evolution. It's either a man or it's a gorilla.